There is a guy called Johann Rupert who controls South Africa, who controls Ramaphosa, Tito Mboweni, Trevor Manuel, Jamnandas Godhan. This guy, Rupert, says if we don't stop our nonsense, he's going to leave. I want to call upon South Africans. Let us speed up the process of accompanying Rupert to the airport, because we don't want Rupert in South Africa. That's what we've been saying about these fellows. They are not South Africans. That's why every moment they say, we will leave. Leave to where? If you are South African. We, South Africans, whether the times are bad or good, we are South Africans.
I long told you, South Africa, that we are captured by Rupert, that our country is run by Rupert. How can a minister of international relations sit in a meeting? Oh, Mara, no, he's a good boy. He's a what is your problem? The whole Minister of International Relations goes and sits in a meeting that deals with international issues outside the country and never uttered a word. But businessmen, the golf players are speaking, but you, the politician, who's supposed to speak on those matters, you are quiet. Why do you still want to earn a salary after being quiet? Why can't we give this salary to those white people? Because they are the ones who are speaking there. All white people who were in that house from South Africa, all of them spoke. All of them, including John Steenhuisen. What gave them the ticket to speak on behalf of our country? It was their color. Only the color of their skin is the one that gave them permission to speak at the White House. Lamula was there. Kumbuzo was even worse. So why should we allow that?
In 1994, the world watched as South Africa broke free from the chains of apartheid. But 30 years later, the question remains, who really holds the power? Apartheid wasn't just racial segregation. It was a carefully engineered economic fortress. By the end of apartheid, white South Africans, less than 10% of the population, controlled over 87% of the land and virtually all major industries. From banking to mining to retail, economic power remained untouched. Even as a black government took over, the wealth stayed behind closed doors. And waiting behind those doors were families like the Johann Ruperts. Johann Rupert inherited more than a business empire. He inherited control over the soul of a nation. Through Remgro, through Richemont, through a sprawling web of investments, Rupert's influence is everywhere. But it's not just wealth. It's control of media, of politicians, of policy. Julius Malema called it out in 2019. Rupert threatens to leave South Africa if we take the land. That's not patriotism. That's economic terrorism. When one man can intimidate the government of a sovereign nation just because he's rich, there is a big problem. Cyril Ramaphosa was meant to be the great reformer, but his strings are tied to the very forces he claims to challenge. From Lonmin's boardroom during the Marikana massacre, to the donors who bankroll his presidency, to his deafening silence on economic justice. Ramaphosa isn't leading, he's serving capital, serving Rupert. And Julius Malema? He said it plain. Ramaphosa can't expropriate land, because Rupert owns him. Malema stood before Parliament, not with fear, but with fire. He told the country, Rupert is threatening our democracy. He warned that land expropriation is being sabotaged, not by the Constitution, not by Parliament, but by billionaires who whisper in the president's ear. And what happened next? Media outlets, owned by white capital, attacked him. Corporate lobbies flooded Parliament. In May, Rupert led a delegation to meet with Donald Trump in the White House. They say it's to defend South Africa's image. But the truth? He's there to assure Trump that transformation laws will never be enforced, that land will stay in white hands, that wealth will remain untouched. Just like Elon Musk has captured Donald Trump. Johann Rupert has captured Cyril Ramaphosa. Different puppets, same masters. Malema is not perfect, but he is principled. While others are scared to offend their donors, he speaks for the millions without land, without jobs, and without justice. He speaks for economic freedom, for the child in Soweto who still uses a pit latrine, for the grandmother who lost her farm in 1953 and never got it back, for the young graduate told to get experience while white privilege inherits companies. Malema is not a radical. He is a realist. We must educate the people, expose these greedy billionaires and corrupt politicians, defend the truth, support land reform, push for transparency in campaign finance, reclaim the economy for the people, because the people are not the danger. Poverty is, injustice is, silence is. South Africans may have gotten political freedom, but they've never had economic liberation. Land must return to the people, the mines must serve the nation, the banks must empower, not enslave. Until that happens, apartheid never ended. It simply changed clothes, and that is why the fight continues.